Need cheap coins right now? Check out redzonecoins.com. For the very best discount available, use code DIRECTOR for 20% off. Hold up. 20% off? That's cheaper than any other YouTuber. Big ups to redzonecoins.com. Use code DIRECTOR. Yo, what up, brothers? What's up? It's the Director. It's that time again for some of my favorite videos to produce on this channel. Yes, sirs, I am talking about some custom card art. I figured, dudes, I think that Most Feared will be coming into the game very soon. I'm talking like Friday. I'm really thinking it's coming. It's just around the corner. And to celebrate that, I didn't want to get part 2 of my Most Feared predictions out. I may do 1 or 2 more, honestly, because this is a pretty big promo. And there's a lot of players that I would love to see come into this promo. So in this video, I'm going to be showing you guys several cards that I would love to see come into Madden Ultimate Team for Most Feared. And as I'm showing all these cards, make sure you guys are posting in the comment section below who you would like to see get a card, because the next time I do card art, I definitely go take a look at the comments to kind of influence what I'm working on. Before we get started, guys, hit us up with a like and sub if you do enjoy this content. The small amount of time you guys take to the like, sub, and bell notification helps out a lot. Let's get into this video. Lights, camera, action. One of the biggest promos of the year is just around the corner in Most Feared, and I've got several cards to show you guys of who I would love to see get an item for Most Feared. Let's start with the man. We're going to go from the lower ones, the 90s, all the way up to the high 90s, the Masters, here in just a second. So let's start with the man that's got the appropriate nickname. Terry McLaurin, aka Scary Terry. This guy's been absolutely killing it since he made his debut last year with the Washington football team. Would be very excited to see him come into the game with a 90 overall. He's got really decent speed, great catching. He'd be one of those items that I think stands out, especially for you Washington football fans. He would be an awesome one. I mean, honestly, he's Scary Terry. There's no way that he isn't part of the Most Feared promo. Next up, we got a man I think that if there were categories would be fitting into Scary Fast. Raheem Mostert. I know there's a lot of 49ers fans that watch these videos. Hi, how you doing? I do like Raheem Mostert, the player, though, individually, especially in Madden Ultimate Team. He's one of those guys that you grab on a budget that has a lot of speed. I've seen a lot of really powerful teams still use Raheem Mostert just because of his size and speed, and I really do like what he brings to the table in Madden Ultimate Team. So even at 90 overall, you could be talking in the realm of mid-90s speed, maybe like 93, 94 speed. He'd be pretty nice in mud. Next up, a name that I'm not sure everybody in the league is quite familiar with yet. Jeremy Chin. Now, this one kind of came as a surprise to me as well. I saw somebody recommend it in one of my comment sections, and I went and looked up some of his stats. I do remember playing up against him in week 3 for the Chargers. They played with the Panthers against the Chargers, and honestly, this guy is really, really good, man. I think he's one of the league leaders in tackles for his position at safety. I think he would bring a lot of size, strength, and speed to the position. I'm pretty sure Carolina Panther fans would know exactly why I decided to select him for this card art. Next up, let's give a nod to the player on the Cowboys. Jalen Smith. Now, Jalen got an upgrade a while ago. I think it was one of the NFL Epics or something like that. No, it was the Rivals cards. That's exactly what it was. And he was really, really good at the beginning of the year. Kind of reminds me a little bit of Ryan Shazier. Definitely not as fast, but still, he has the measurables. He's got the speed. He's definitely one of those preferred users at linebacker when he does have a high enough card. He's been playing really good this season from what I can tell, and I would love to see him get an upgrade to a 90 overall. Next up, let's hike up the overall to 91 overall, starting with one of the coolest tight ends in the league right now. Jonnu Smith. Now, I targeted this guy in a ton of my fantasy leagues because everyone was saying that he was going to break out, and honestly, he looks absolutely incredible, especially with that 2-touchdown performance on Tuesday Night Football. I would love to see Jonnu Smith get an upgrade. He's one of those guys that I was using early in the game. I think it was the Team Builders or something like that. Is 84 overall, had something like 86 speed. We can get him to 91 overall. He's gonna look really, really good as far as, you know, one of the fastest, meanest tight ends in the game of Madden 21. Next up, a highly requested cornerback, Marlon Humphrey. I see a lot of Ravens fans every single week saying, wow, Marlon Humphrey plays with attitude. I think you guys have been waiting for an upgrade for him. I honestly think you guys might be good at cornerback, but I do recognize that Marlon Humphrey is definitely one of those names that sticks out to me at cornerback in modern day football. You guys got, your Rod Woodsons, you definitely got your Deion Sanders, but still, I think Marlon Humphrey would be a solid add to any Ravens themed team. Next up, let's give a nod to the man in Buffalo, Stefon Diggs. Now, Stefon Diggs was awesome with the Minnesota Vikings prior to coming into this season with the Bills. And honestly, his pairing with Josh Allen this year has been really, really cool to watch. He's definitely still playing at a really, really high level. I think you Buffalo fans would definitely love to see an upgrade to this player, get an upgrade to your wide receiver core. And honestly, he's just one of those guys where I'm like, why doesn't he have a good card already? So Stefon Diggs is going to get the nod there. Next up, a player that would instantly give everybody a huge upgrade that did the rookie premiere in Madden 20. Chase Young. Now, Chase Young looks to be one of the best rookies coming out of this season with the Washington football team, who I did make 2 cards for this week, and he would be an absolute beast for a couple of reasons. One, he's really, really good as a football player and as a MUT item, but 2, again, if you did your rookie premiere last year and he ends up getting like a 90 or 91, that's pretty significant to a lot of teams, because now you can add a player with edge threat that should add to a lot of your defenses, once you do get that free item. And honestly, I think he would be an awesome add to everybody's teams once he does get that bump. Next up, guys, let's hike up the overall again to 92 overall, starting with one of my favorite players in the NFL, Joey Bosa. Oh my God, it's Joey Bosa. Joey Bosa comes in here as our first 92 overall. Bosa, obviously the highest paid defensive player in the NFL, got a fat contract over this offseason. He's definitely playing at a high level, but still, with what he's put out on the field, being one of the most dominant defensive players in the league, I would love to see him get an upgrade with Most Feared, because he's definitely one of those players that quarterbacks sweat over the night before Sunday football. Next up, a player that I know everybody's been waiting for, and I think it's time to unleash him. Cam Newton, Most Feared Cam Newton. Now, Cam Newton is one of the best quarterbacks in Madden Ultimate Team every year when he does get an upgrade. He's one of my personal favorite quarterbacks to use in Madden Ultimate Team because of his size and speed. There's really no other quarterback that you can truck people over with, and we've seen so many people enjoy Cam Newton cards in the past. Now with the New England Patriots, the Patriots really haven't had a running caliber kind of quarterback in Madden Ultimate Team in quite some time outside of golden tickets. So I really feel like Cam Newton be an awesome addition for everybody. He's going to have the size, the speed, and the throw power. He'll definitely be a fun one to run with in MUT 21. Next up, a player that I'm shocked is not in the game right now, Jadeveon Clowney. Dudes, what is going on this season? Did he not sign a contract with EA to be in the game? Because he wasn't in at launch. We haven't seen a card so far. Are they really saving his debut for Most Feared? It's absolutely possible. I had to do a card for this promo though, because it's really strange to me that he's not in the game. He's one of the most feared, pass rushers in the NFL. It's about freaking time that Clowney makes his debut in Madden 21, so he's gonna get the nod for me there. Next up, a man who has been one of the scariest wide receivers in the league for a while now, DeAndre Hopkins. Now, honestly, when a wide receiver changes teams, I get really skeptical as to their performance in that year. They're going into a new system, they got a new quarterback. Most of the time, it does not work out for wide receivers like that. But DeAndre Hopkins says, I do not care. He's putting up some great numbers. I think he may be the league leader in yards so far for wide receivers, and he's just been as reliable as he's always been. In Madden Ultimate Team, in a year where they're actually respecting speed a little bit more for these kinds of players, I do expect him to be very relevant in the game and put up some of the best route running and catch stats that you can find in Madden 21. And lastly, let's show off the Masters, 2 legendary players from the AFC West. Starting with Derek Thomas. Now, I think I heard somewhere that Derek Thomas has made his debut in Madden Mobile. I do think that he's coming to the game this year because EA did partner with the FGA, which is kind of like your NFLPA that holds the rights to retired players, and Derek Thomas was on that list. Derek Thomas, of course, being one of the best linebackers to ever play the game, hugely dominant in his days with the Kansas City Chiefs. And honestly, whether you're a Chiefs fan, you're a Chargers fan, you've got to respect the name of Derek Thomas, and I think he would be a huge force in Madden 21 Ultimate Team, and very much so deserving of the most feared master. Next up, one of my all-time favorite players ever in the NFL, really the man who made me an NFL fan to begin with. LaDainian Tomlinson. Now, honestly, I really struggled with the masters on this one, guys. Sometimes I have to like slap myself being like, dude, don't be such a homer. But at the same time, LaDainian Tomlinson as one of the most feared masters is massively justified in my opinion. The dude holds so many records. To this day, he's the single season all-time record holder for most touchdowns ever scored in a single season. The legend of LaDainian Tomlinson still lives on today as one of the scariest running backs to ever play the game of football. And as I mentioned with Derek Thomas, he is part of the FGA roster, which means that I'm very confident he's going to be coming into the game at some point this year or next. And let's be honest, guys, this card would be absolutely wild. Now, before I do close out this video, I did want to mention I made an alternate art for LaDainian Tomlinson at 94 overall. I do believe that we may see some super high overall masters for this promo because we are already seeing 93 overalls in the game, and generally these masters are some of the highest overall cards in the game, so I would not be shocked if players like Derek Thomas, LaDainian Tomlinson end up being 94 overalls instead of 93. Well, guys, that's all I got for today's video. If you did enjoy this content, if you do appreciate the time that goes into photoshopping these items, hit us up with a like and sub on your way out. Also, check out the store for some new shirts. Stay frosty, Kyoto, lights, camera, action, all the good stuff if you want to support the channel that way. Well, guys, thank you so much for joining me. This has been The Director. We'll see you next time, and as always, bolt up and stay frosty.